Welcome back to Tales of the Wandering Bard. I had muted the mic, that's why I had to get restarted again. And now I have my own little secret DM corner where they will not be able to see what I'm doing as much as that I'm pulling up. You're too clever. Anyway, you are in town. This is the town of Vestel. Vestal? Just nice and proper. Excellent. And it is a nice hustling and bustling town, which we'll get music for in just a moment. People are moving about, doing all sorts of stuff. You see plenty of guards along the walls, armed with a series of weapons, lots of pole arms and lots of bows. You have been to this town plenty of times before. It is kind of a split in the road. If you go one way, it heads out towards... I'm going to have to turn this around to show you. Oh god. Mistakes were made. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. So you are right here in the middle of this. One road leads out here towards this kingdom, which you can then take the river down if you'd like to, or the other road heads southward towards kind of pretty much the rest of the world. But this is a nice little trading post that most of the commerce that comes up here goes to.
I think going to the south is much safer for me.
Yeah, if we go west?
This would be east.
East?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No.
We would come closer to from where I fled, or?
Yeah, you're from way up here towards the top.
But they were chasing me on boats.
They were chasing you on ships, yeah.
Okay.
So, you'd like to head...
Which time of the day is it? Noon?
2 or 3.
We have to buy food.
Actually, you still have some food left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I approach one of the guards and ask him, do you need Alex? Do you know a place where a bard could earn a few coins and have a night's rest?
There's a Wayfarer's Inn near the edge of town, on the south side, if that's what you're looking for.
And I actually asked the person whose name I asked.
Alyssa.
I asked Alyssa if she knows any good places to stay or has any better recommendation.
You've been here, there's 4 or 5 inns in the town. You've stayed at a few of them. I don't know if you have a preference for one or the other. Is there any type of inn you would like more than another type?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay.
Cool. You head to the one on the south side of town, the one that he gave you directions to. It is called the Wayfarer's Inn, and it is filled with all sorts of folk. Stepping inside, you see a party of halflings, maybe 10 of them at a table, which is very unusual. Halflings, hobbits, I think. There's a whole bunch of them, very strange. You see a group of well-armed soldiers in uniforms of the neighboring kingdom that you would recognize. They are the kingdom of Aros.
From which kingdom?
Not yours, the one to the east.
Okay.
Yeah. And you see a bunch of other travelers, including what looks to be a wizard. He's dressed in long red robes. He's got a pointy hat with a broad brim. And he has a strange smell about him, kind of like burning incense, even though there's no clear incense on him. And then various other farmers and drunkards and whatever in here. That's all in the common room. The bedrooms are upstairs on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the inn. The whole place is made out of stone. There's a fire burning in the hearth, even though it's middle of the day. And there's a whole bunch of food being served.
Then I ask Alicia to get a room for us. if possible.
But my charisma is very low. So
I
if we
don't
want
think you
to-
need much charisma to rent a room.
But if we want a good price,
Okay, no, maybe I go. I go there and ask him if he would like a bard playing up in his tavern to ease the mood. And
If you'd like to sing, that's fine, but I can't pay you anything.
how about a free night?
I don't know, if you're any good, maybe. Are you a very good singer?
I'm quite good.
Do you... Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe I sing one song and then you can. Look if it suits you.
Sure, fine.
Okay, and
Cross his arms
I-
and waits for you to
is there
sing.
is there a corner for bards or a little ramp or something?
There's a very small stage area.
Okay.
It's, this high off the ground and 2 meters by 1 meter.
Okay, I think I take off my cape and yeah, try to look as good as possible.
Not very hard. You are half nymph. You are, as you walk through after taking your cape and hood off, you see a lot of the guys in that bar all watch you.
And I hand my stuff to Alicia.
Alyssa, no one pays any attention.
And head up there and I start singing something.
Give me a singing check.
Can
It's a D20 plus 18.
Do you know no halfling songs or anything that they would enjoy?
Let's see. You've been in a tower to the north your whole life. You've never seen a halfling. You've heard them described.
Okay, do you know anything about them?
You just know the broad stereotypes. They like food. They like to smoke pipe weed. They're short and dirty. They're not very smart, but they're kind of simple, honest people. They're these little cute, non-threatening.
Yeah. Okay.
They like to eat and they smoke pipe weed and they're always fat and stupid and they're so cute.
Okay. Then I try simple, happy songs and folk songs and something like that. Okay. And 1d20.
1d20.
80.
18 is 36. You have an excellent performance. If everyone wasn't looking at you before, they certainly are now. The whole room goes quiet as you sing this folk song. What was the song about?
Maybe about a maid being trapped in a tower and saved by a knight.
Okay. At the end of it, there's a serious round of applause, and the halflings from their table try and toss silver coins onto the table from you. It seems like a game that they're playing. They're gibbering at each other in some strange, bizarre language that sounds like people squeaking.
Mm-hmm.
You acquire 11 silver coins, which is pretty freaking good for a single song. It's
okay. I head back to the inn owner and ask him what he thinks about it.
You can stay as long as you'd like. We have a full-time opening as a singer. You're more than welcome to stay here. Your very tall, imposing, scary friend over there can get a job as a bouncer. We'd love to have you.
Then I ask for a room and tell him that we have a horse with us, which would need some.
I'll send the stable boy out to take care of your stuff. My wife here, Gertrude, she'll show to your room. Can we expect you to play some more for us tonight?
Of course.
Fantastic, thank you. His wife leads you guys upstairs to two separate inn rooms. Stable boys outside tending to your horse. Put your gear away. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you head back downstairs? Or?
No, but I ask her to stay close to me in case that there are any persons I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
And when we are back in the main room,
We don't quite get there yet.
okay.
Another thing, I would ask you how long do we want to stay in this inn?
I really like it. Maybe a week. And have you seen this little halflings? They're so cute.
Oh yes, okay.
Okay.
Let's stay there.
As you head back downstairs, you see sitting at the bar what looks to be a formal messenger, and you instantly recognize the sigil on the back of his cloak as that of your father's kingdom.
Okay.
He's sitting at the bar, sort of slumped over, holding his hands on his head. You can't see what he has in front of him, but his back is turned towards you.
I ask Alicia.
Alyssa.
Alyssa. I'm terrible.
It's okay. I will underline the name for you. Where is it?
It's not the name, it's the
It's the
pronunciation.
pronunciation. Alright.
I ask her to tell the innkeeper that we had very little sleep and will maybe come back later this evening or tomorrow if it's okay for him. And that I'm very sorry, but I just can't perform if I'm too tired. Do you deliver the message?
I deliver the message.
Okay. So the innkeeper frowns and goes, well, we had a deal, so if you're not going to be playing, I'm going to want to see some money for those rooms.
Can we come back in 1 or 2 hours?
So you're just not you're gonna rest for now and come back later?
Yeah.
In the evening when there are people drunk.
You can't explain. This is all.
Okay.
This is all to her.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You. I mean, you didn't sleep at all last night. Where'd you guys come from?
I can lie.
You can say whatever you want.
We came. We're journers, and we were here and there. And last night we met a golem that. It was an awful creature, but he doesn't do anything to us. But we walk all the night, and we're now really tired.
Well, okay. As long as you guys come back and perform a little bit later, that'd be fantastic. Okay. Great, sure, no problem.
Thank you.
And while I'm in the room, I try to get a song together about the golem thing.
Okay. Give me we don't have a music. Give me just a charisma check.
Oh.
2 and 16 is 18. It is not a success.
Okay.
So you put together a song about the golem, but it's not too great.
It doesn't
It's a little
rhyme.
hit or miss. Yeah.
Okay.
It's awkward. How late do you?
I guess it's about 4 p.m. At the, like 4 or 5 hours.
So you wait quite a while. Let's see. Oops. Okay. So you're up in your rooms for 15, 20 minutes. When do you guys hang out in the same room, or are you guys like passed out in your respective bedrooms?
Same room, I guess.
Same room, yeah.
Okay.
I thought we would just get one room.
But they gave you 2, but you can do
Okay.
what you want.
I don't know. I guess I stay in my room, but if you want to stay with me, it's totally fine.
Maybe you're a little bit afraid. So
Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit afraid, but I will mostly sleep.
Okay, so I will stay close to you and won't sleep.
Sure. It's been 20 minutes since you went downstairs. When you hear a knock on the door, you are a light sleeper, so you immediately wake up to the sound of a on the door.
What does the room look like? Can I hide somewhere?
You could hide under the bed.
Okay, I guess
It's pretty much just a bed, and then there's like a small chest at the bottom that is unlocked with no locking mechanism.
Yeah, for my stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I take the scimitar and go behind the door so that when it opens.
What do you do?
I go to the door and open it.
Okay. The man from downstairs, the traveling cloak that has the sigil of Rickwan on it, answers in, kind of tries to peer over your shoulder, but you're like 6 feet tall. You're like 2 meters tall. You're a big person. He's trying to look around and goes, excuse me, is there a young woman traveling with you? About 18, 19 years old. Very beautiful.
I don't think so.
She was what was it, kidnapped from our castle. Someone said they saw someone by her description up here earlier. That she was singing a song downstairs?
I haven't seen anything.
Did you hear the singer downstairs earlier?
Yeah, I've heard him, but... Sorry,
Did you see where she went?
No.
Well, if you find her, there's a very large reward out. If you can give me any information that leads to her rescue, the king will pay you 500 gold. If you find her, actually find her, the king is willing to pay up to 1,000 gold for her return. She's his daughter, and she's been kidnapped. So
I'm very sorry about him, but I haven't seen
okay.
her.
Well, keep your eye out. If you see anything, I'll be in town for a few more days, staying here in this inn.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. He turns around and walks away.
Okay, I guess later.
Did I know her story?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had told her that you're escaping because your father kept you kind of like as a prisoner almost.
Okay.
A little bit too friendly.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, later that evening, we had downstairs. I asked Alyssa. Oh God, it's terrible. Great. I can remember dozens of songs, but not your name. I asked you to come with me, but fully armed, with your armor and your sword and everything.
Why? What's your plan?
I'm afraid.
Yeah, you're afraid, but do you want to kill him?
No, I don't want, but maybe there are people downstairs who want to grab me and take me back to my father. And in this case, it would be better to have someone to defend me from them.
You know that I'm an adventurer.
You won't sell me.
It's an option.
I kind of back out. I thought we were friends.
Yeah, we are friends. But there are 500 gold.
That's a lot of money. That's more money you've ever had in your entire life.
I know.
Oh God. I guess I take my scimitar with me on my back maybe, and I wrap my bow in my cloak. It's not string, but can I do it?
You can wrap. It'll still clearly be like a long something wrapped in
of
a
course,
cloak.
but it's okay. Just
Do you take your arrows with you as well?
yes. I maybe take the quiver and grab it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I look at her and... Are you serious?
That are the facts. I'm sorry.
Are you really trying to sell me? Just think about all the adventures and things, and aren't you morally... I forgot a word. Terrible. Don't you want to help me?
Do you think I lied on him?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
To-
It's maybe you want to money for
sell you?
yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not a bad person.
Good. And we head downstairs. I try to peek into the room. Do I see him sitting?
No.
there? Okay.
You peer down into the common room. It seems like he's not there. The other people are still about. Because it's only been 20 minutes. 30 minutes.
Okay. It has been 30 minutes?
But since you guys told them that you
okay.
were going to go to sleep for a few hours.
Oh, I wanted to stay in the
Okay.
room for a few hours.
Okay, so you stay in the room, rest for a few hours. By the time you come back downstairs, it is dark. There's light inside provided by the fire in the hearth, and a couple of lanterns that have been lit and hung from the ceilings. The party of halflings are nowhere to be seen, and you notice that there are a few more warrior types around. A lot of people wearing armor with weapons. Yeah. How are you dressed when you go downstairs?
With my stuff, you can clearly see that I'm armed, but in my nice clothes and with my loot, so I'm trying to do my job.
What about you? Are you wearing your armor, or did you leave it behind?
Yeah, I'm wearing my armor and standing next to her, but in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your other stuff, like your backpack that has all of your traveling supplies? Is that with you, or are you leaving that in the bedroom?
I think I leave it in the bedroom.
Okay. Same with you?
Me too, yeah.
Okay. Cool. The innkeeper sees you guys come down and waves at you and kind of gestures for you to come over.
Yeah.
He says, "There's a man here earlier looking for someone. We thought it might be you. Where did you..."
Yeah, he's looking for me. I am the princess of
Raekwon.
and my...
Shut up!
Do you remember the song I sang about a maiden in a tower? That's about me. I escaped, and he's trying to force me to come back because he wants to keep me from the world. And this messenger clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. I wasn't captured. I ran away.
He looks at you for a moment. Right. Sure. Of course. You're the princess of Raekwon. You're playing in my inn. It's funny. It's funny. Okay. Whatever. Play your songs. I got business to tend to. And he goes off laughing to himself.
Okay, yeah. Is the wizard still there?
He is. There's a bunch of tables. Most of them are like this table size. There's some larger ones. He's sitting at a larger table. You could probably put 10 people around it. And he's sitting at it by himself. All the other tables are fairly full, but his table is completely empty.
Okay, I go there and I sit next to him and smile at him. Does he react?
Yeah, he looks you up and down, smiles. What do? You join them at the table, or are you hanging out?
No, I'm hanging out in the background and watch and look at the situation.
Okay. He looks you up and down and smiles and says, "Well, you're brave to sit here."
Well, you smell funny and I'm a bard and...
You're very blunt about things, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm very sorry. It's just how I am, and I'm very curious as well, and I wanted to ask you why you smell and if it's a good story, because I'm a bard and I'm always looking for good stories I can use to make new songs.
One thing I completely forgot until just now is that you hit second level earlier, which means you have a few spells you can cast. You have Burning Hands, Read Magic, Spider Climb. I shouldn't say Spider Wall, I should say Spider Climb. Spider Climb. And Color Spray. Color Spray makes a whole bunch of colors that would surprise and shock people, and they pass out from the... Spider Climb lets you climb walls like a spider, very obviously. Read Magic lets you read things that are written in the language of magic, and Burning Hands produces fire from your hands.
Okay.
You have one of these memorized right now. You can pick which one. But since you've just learned these, you need a spell book to write them down in before you can rememorize them. So if you cast whichever one you have memorized, you can't cast anymore until you create a spell book to write these things in. The spellbook doesn't have to be a magic book. It can literally just be some pieces of paper that you've written things down on.
Do you have paper with me?
You do not.
Okay.
Just as a side note that I'd forgotten about.
Okay. Great.
So he says, well, that unpleasant smell about me is a function of... let's put it in the more poetic language, a curse that has been levied upon me. I do not age. I've been alive for a few hundred years now, and that smell, that constant smell, covers the scent of rotting.
Oh, that's very unpleasant.
Most unpleasant.
Is there a way to lift the curse?
God, why would you want to do that? I've been alive for
I'm
500
sorry.
years.
I'm
Are
sorry.
you kidding? This is the best thing ever.
I'm just very, very curious. It would make an epic tale.
It certainly would.
Are you willing to tell me something about yourself? It doesn't need to have anything to do with the curse. But I guess you have seen incredible things in all the time.
I have. There is a city far, far to the west from here and a bit south called the Pit. It rests in a desert known as the Cooling Sands next to these great mountains called the Drowning Peaks. Down in the pit, in the town of the Pit, there is a very deep well that is just a spiral staircase that goes down and down and down into perpetual darkness. It's not really a well. No one has seen the bottom. Well, most people haven't seen the bottom. Down in there are some unsavory things, magics that exist from before magic existed in the world. A traveling companion of mine informed me about this place, and that is where you could say I brought the curse upon myself in order to live. I don't know how long, but it's been 470 something years, 500 and something years. You stop counting at this point.
Do you have a piece of paper with you for me to write down notes?
He looks you up and down again. No, my papers... All my papers are in my spell book.
Oh, that's...
So I have nothing extra. But what about you? You don't look like a human to me. You don't look like a half-elf.
No,
What are you?
I'm half nymph. I'm the
Half-nymph.
princess of Raikwan. And I escaped from my father, who kept me there.
That sounds like a better story than mine.
Oh, were you here a few hours ago? I think I remember you. I sang a song. It was basically my story. Just a little bit.
I heard you sing it.
Different.
Most interesting. Well, I would be happy to tell you what you need, anything about me, if you will give me the pleasure of your company. So very few people bother to stop by and chat with me these days.
Yeah, I guess it's the smell.
The smell and the fact that I may have set a few people on fire yesterday.
Oh, why would you do such a thing? That's horrible.
When you've been around for a long time, you need various forms of entertainment, and when they were being brutish and brash, I said a few unkind words towards someone I had taken a liking to, and so I set them on fire in the town. The guards came and tried to stop me, but I turned them into pigs, and now no one leaves me. No one bothers me.
I sit there and just look at him and wow, that's great story. It's horrible, of course, but I think you could make a pretty funny song about undead wizard just burning down maybe.
Undead is not a term I would like to use.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It's how should I refer to you?
You can call me Sir Iron.
Sir Iron. Okay.
I know I'm not a knight, but that's probably the best term for you to use for now.
I guess I have to think about it, but this would be a little offensive maybe, but a great song.
You have an offensive song? Do you want to... Are you not afraid of being set on fire or turned into a pig?
No, not offensive towards you, but towards the people who were burned or turned into pigs. They...
Screw them. No one will care. Trust me, in 5 years no one will remember them, not even their own mothers.
Then maybe I will come back in a few years and sing this song. And then I try to politely go off and start playing.
Sure. Okay. What are your goals for the rest of the night?
I've slept a few hours. Maybe I will play until midnight, and as there are a lot of warriors and
there's a whole bunch of people around. Okay.
yeah,
So
and more brutal songs and
give me a couple of singing proficiency checks. Give me we'll just do one that will encompass the whole night.
11.
11 plus what?
16?
Singing plus. What is it? I can't read from here.
18.
18. So 29. Yeah, you sing beautifully as you always do. After your fourth song, just as you're about to start your fifth, a drunken warrior gets up and starts like stumbling towards you and goes, "Hey there, lady. Why don't you come back to my room and we can sing a different song? I bet I could make you sing loudly, if you know what I mean."
Do you intervene?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go to him and say, I'm very sorry, but I don't. She has any interest in such things.
Looks at you. Look, she's not your type, lady. Why don't you back off and let a real man handle this situation?
You don't know anything.
Get out of here, you silly oaf. And he ignores you and turns back to you and goes, "Come on, what do you say?"
I speak up and get louder, and so that everyone in the room can hear me. And gentlemen, your comrade is clearly drunk. Might two of you be willing to take him out?
Give me a charisma check.
Or are there any bouncers who work for the 13?
13 plus, what is your charisma?
16.
Okay, so 29. Yeah, that's fantastic. His fellow soldiers laugh, come up and grab him by the arms and say, "Come on, Hank, sit down. It's fine. She's not worth it anyway. It's probably an illusion spell." He gets dragged back to the table, and the night continues for a little bit. Half an hour later, a few more songs, you take a bit of a rest, you get some food. As you're coming back up for your second act, both of you give me perception checks, actually. It's a D20 plus your PCP score.
Where is PCP?
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that one plus
17?
11.
11 and 16, 17. And, okay, so Sarah, you see it first. You see the messenger open the door and step into the tavern. He doesn't take a look towards you. He heads straight for the bar.
Okay.
You spot this a few moments later as well.
At this moment, do you sing a song?
I'm heading up the stage, I guess. Yeah, I start singing.
Okay. You start singing. After the first few bars, he turns his head, spots you, his eyes go wide, and he sets his drink down, leans against the table, and looks directly at you, making eye contact with you.
I ignore him.
Okay. What do you do about this, Alyssa?
Nothing. I will be in the background and watch the situation.
Okay. You sing a few more songs, whatever. Eventually, typically you would sing for a bit and then take a break and get some water or whatever. At the next moment where you take a break, as you come down the stairs, he makes his way towards you, pushing through the crowd. Not pushing through the crowd, but going around the crowd to intercept you. And comes up to you and says, "Your Highness, are you okay? We heard that you had been captured and..."
No, I haven't. I fled from my father because he kept me in this horrible tower, and I'm fine.
That's for your safety. Do you know what these common folk would do to you?
Until now, everybody was extraordinarily friendly. They are very kind.
You do not know the minds of these common men. They're terrible. Please, let me take you back. Your father misses you dearly.
I can't do that. I want to see the world and learn things about the world. And I have this strong companion with me. She protects me from all harm.
She's currently somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Then I just gesture over.
He takes a look, spots you, says, "Well, I'm sorry to say, but your feelings are not relevant. Your father has told me to bring you back, and so I must."
I'm very sorry then.
I have some fresh horses, and we can set off tonight. Get the hell out of this place before someone else.
Why don't you accompany me instead of taking me back? You can clearly travel with us for a few days and then go back and tell him that I'm safe and that everything is fine.
He makes eye contact with you. You can feel him sizing you up, trying to judge you as a fighter. Looks back at you and goes, I know you to be an honest person, Your Highness. Promise me that you will not leave town in the next few days. I will write to your father. We have ways of communicating, and I will see what he says.
I look at him. But you might come back with a lot of people and soldiers who will take me back.
No, I will stay in town and I will write to him. We have messengers that will close the distance in a day or two.
Stay at the inn?
I'm staying here. Promise me you will not leave and we can talk about this. Otherwise, I have to take you back tonight.
I promise.
You promise?
Yeah. And if it's possible and nothing else happens, I try to approach Sir Iron this evening.
Okay. Sure. As you part, he hurries out of the room, like runs. Well, he walks quietly to the door, opens it, and then runs out the door down the street somewhere. You walk back towards the wizard in red. You just hang out, stay inside. What do you do?
No, I want to talk to her.
Okay, so you can interrupt.
A few
her.
words. Sorry, Sarah. I think this is too dangerous.
But I promised him to stay here. He won't lie to me. He wouldn't do that.
I don't think so.
That's why I'm heading towards the iron. I hope that he might be interested in my story and in someone who accompanies him, so that...
He's a soldier of your father.
You
think of it.
Yeah, but I'm the princess. I don't think he would lie to his princess.
But he's a soldier of your father, not a soldier of you.
He's supposed to be honest with me.
I don't think so.
Well, let's give him a chance.
Maybe then it's too late and you have to go back to your kingdom.
Let's sleep over it and decide tomorrow.
Okay, decide tomorrow.
Okay.
Do you both approach the table, or just you by yourself? The table with the red wizard.
I don't do anything to keep her from it.
Do you join him do you join her when she sits at the table with the wizard?
No.
No? Okay. All right, you approach the table on your own.
Okay, and I just sit next to him and say, maybe you've noticed the messenger I talked to, and he's been sent from my father, and I fear that he might try to get soldiers and take me back forcefully. So, as you are the mighty wizard, you are maybe you could stay with us for a while, and we would entertain you. And as I'm a great singer, maybe you've noticed, and yeah, you said you don't have a lot of company these days, so if that's enough for you, then it would great to have your protection.
What's in it for me?
Well, you have somebody to talk about you and to tell your story if you want it, or don't tell your story if you don't want. You have great singing every evening.
I have plans of my own. Where are you headed?
We will stay for a few days, but we are just trying to get as far away from Rayquan as possible, so not anywhere specific.
Hold on, let me think for a moment what you would say.
She's lived in a tower her whole life.
If you want, I can provide you with protection from your father's soldiers and escape, but I think I would need something a little more than the pleasure of your singing. I have seen a great many things in this world. I've lived a very long time, more than any other human, more than most other humans. But I have never, in all my years, seen a half nymph. I have seen a nymph once, but never a half nymph.
I look at him and wait for him to go on.
He just maintains eye contact. Perhaps a night of your company, and I will help you escape.
I look at him.
I have lived 500 years. I am well versed in many languages.
Does the nymph side have any other effects than being good looking? Or is it...
As a full-blooded nymph has a whole bunch of crazy, like supernatural powers. A half nymph doesn't really possess any of those powers, at least none that you've discovered yet.
Do they have very active libido?
You are the only half nymph in all of existence.
Okay.
The libido is up to you. It could be highly active. That has been something that you have been protected from your entire life. It's very reasonable to think that you would be curious or want something out of that. Or you could play it off as I have no idea and it's terrifying and these creatures. You can play it however you'd like, but you have been locked away in a tower your whole life and kept away from men.
I guess she's really curious. So she looks at him and says, well, I think it's a very interesting idea, but what concerns me most is that you're kind of rotten, you said, and
only the organs on the inside.
So if you could do something about the smell for the night, maybe we just buy a lot of
Not a problem.
Why not?
He takes you by the hand and leads you upstairs.
Not now. I still have to sing a few songs.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
He sits back down a little impatient. And let's see what the other guy... Okay, you sing your songs for the rest of the night. Now, would you have been standing close enough to the table to overhear their conversation, or were you far enough away that you have no idea what's happening?
I think I know what's happening.
Okay. Well, you definitely have a chance to speak with Sarah before the evening is out.
Are you serious about that?
I'm curious. I want to know what it is like, and we gain a lot out of it. He's very friendly.
You trust this man?
Why not? He seems very old. I don't think he would lie for any reason. He could just take whatever he wants.
But you know that he could kill you, or...
If he wanted to kill me, I would be dead by now. He just burned a few people and turned them into pigs.
Yeah,
a great story, by the way. I have to tell you this.
But there are guys.
And is there anything bad about guys?
No.
I look at her.
No, there's very ill shit outside. Maybe it's not that good idea to start with him.
Well, he
You
said
have zero experience.
Yeah, but how should I gain experience? If not by doing it,
That's your decision, but this man...
He said he would care about... He would take care about the things that might be strange.
And you trust him this much?
Well, if not, it's just a bad experience, isn't it? What could happen?
Can't do anything.
Okay. Eventually you finish your sets. You go upstairs. Need some dice here. Okay. How shall I say that? You have the most enjoyable evening of your life so far. Someone that's been around for 500 years has developed quite a bit of technique. Yeah. We don't have to go into any more detail than that. But you wake up the next morning. In his room, he is gone. What do you do when they go upstairs and disappear?
Can't do anything. It's her decision.
So what do you do for the rest of the night?
Grab a
Stay
mountain
at my
soldier.
room and I'm hoping that I sleep a little bit.
Okay. Next morning, you two meet downstairs at a certain point. The red-robed wizard is nowhere to be found. He still had some of his stuff in his room, so it's not like he's packed up and taken off. But in through the door, while you're eating your breakfast, comes the messenger from the night before.
Who's in the tavern by this time?
The proprietor, the owner, is here. There are, let's see, wake up. You didn't sleep much the night before, so you probably sleep in, so it's probably it's late morning by the time you get up. The tavern is mostly empty. There are some, like the tavern owner's son, who's like mopping the floor and sweeping and cleaning from last night. And a few mercenaries in heavy armor with weapons that are sitting around the table, chatting amongst themselves. So it's just like this one group of mercenaries, and I think Alyssa was downstairs before you got there. You see Sarah coming down the stairs, an unusual glow about her.
I look at her and say nothing.
Okay.
Tell me the details.
I'll write a song about it.
Nice.
Okay. Great. So, a few minutes later, in through the door walks the messenger from the night before, and he looks about for a moment, spots you, and comes up and says, I wrote to your father. We used the local lord's wizard to get the message there and back overnight. Your father says that your concerns are unimportant, that the world is dangerous, and that there will be men out here trying to take advantage of you. And that you need to return immediately before something terrible happens to you.
That's what I said.
I look at her and then I turn back to the messenger and say, I won't go back to my father. You can tell him that.
I'm afraid then I have no choice but to take you back by force. I have...
I have to warn you, because you're a man of my father, and so you are my man too. I've made friends with a mighty wizard, and I have experienced that the people are very willing to help me and very friendly, so I might not have another option but resisting.
Well, I don't see your wizard buddy anywhere around now. So I have some men outside. I would rather not do this forcefully. I would much rather you come willingly than to tie you up like a common criminal. Ma'am, I know you are somehow involved in this, but do not get further involved. As you are not the princess, we have no qualms putting you down. And by the way, you should have said you had her. You could have been a very wealthy person. 1,000 gold? 1,000 gold?
Yeah, but she's my friend and she's loyal to me.
What do you think about him?
I think this messenger is trying to do his job, but I also think that freedom is very valuable and that if it's my own decision, I should be able to go wherever I want.
Well, if you're not going to do this the easy way, he gets up from the table and walks outside and opens the door and gestures. 4 men with chainmail armor and spears, short swords at their side, come in. And he says, "This is her. If the ugly, brutish one gets in the way, kill her."
Do they look like mercenaries or like hired guards?
They look like you would recognize the sigil on them. They are the personal house guard of the local lord here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like hired help or borrowed help.
Are you serious to do this?
To be honest, I agree with the young lady. I think she should do what she wants, but I am very loyal.
Well, you have this 5 cards. Why don't you come with us to protect us?
It's your choice.
And it's the last time I'm making this offer.
It is not much of a choice. If I say no, I will be put down as well.
Then why
Okay.
don't you come with us?
I have a wife and kids. I would like to see them again. I cannot just abandon all my responsibilities. Besides, make your plea to your father in person. You may be able to change his mind. Maybe you can talk him out of it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, me not. I think it wouldn't work very well.
So you have the choice too. Do you want to get killed? Or...
Is that a threat?
Yeah,
Are you going to kill me?
I think so. When you want to bring the princess back.
Okay, at this point I make eye contact with the guards behind him, and I speak up and say, "You are a man of honor. This man wants to take me back to my father against my free will, and you should help me instead of him. I'm the princess of Raikwan. I just want to go my way. Do you think it's the right thing to force a young lady to go back to her father into a tower?"
Give me a charisma check.
So
D10.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
7.
7 and 16. Oh, it's still pretty good. The guards kind of hesitate a little bit, and they look at the messenger, who shrugs, and one of them speaks up and says, "I have a daughter, and if she ran off, I would absolutely have someone bring her back."
I look at him and ask, "Then how about your wife? Would you have ever met her if her father wouldn't have let her out of his house and kept her?"
That's exactly how I met her. It was
Did you
arranged
have
marriage. Absolutely. Had she run off before I met her, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Fuck.
Is there a little knife? Or something like this?
A little knife?
A knife?
Yeah, you have a knife at your side. If you What do you do with it?
Clean fingernails.
Can I capture...
You want to capture one of the soldiers?
No, the other guy.
The messenger?
Yeah.
Okay. He's standing up now, so you're sitting at... You can stand up and do what you want, but it would... he would easily notice if you came at him in an aggressive way.
Oh, okay.
But you can try. You can try whatever you'd like in the world. Okay. The guards point their spears. 2 of them point their spears at you. 2 of them point their spears at you.
Is the messenger armed?
He has a short sword at his side. He's not wearing any armor, though.
Are we wearing armor?
You are wearing medium armor. You have armor on your character, but I don't know if you're wearing it right now.
I'm not wearing armor, but I think I have my scimitar and my bow in the same...
Okay. In the same thing as before.
Genau. Yeah.
Okay. So the guards start to approach you, and that's when you hear a voice, and you can't quite place its location. And it says out loud, "I wouldn't touch her if I were you, gentlemen."
Are they confused?
Yeah, they were moving towards you, and at that voice, they kind of look around to try and find it, but no one can see.
Can I try to catch the messenger?
Sure. Give me a dexterity check. It's a 20-sided die plus your dex score.
I think I've drawn my scimitar.
20.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Okay. Perfect. So he's looking around for the voice. You hop up, get up behind him, knife at his throat immediately, and he pauses in place. And the voice that you can't place laughs. Well, now what are you going to do, guys? The guards... The 4 guards all turns towards you, spears pointed, and they start to move around, like circle around you to kind of encompass you from all sides.
Run away.
You say that?
Can I whisper that to you?
Yeah, you can. The guy who you have the messenger would hear you for sure.
Yeah, but that's unimportant. I scream, "Let her go, and never come back." Yeah.
Yeah, when you whisper to me, I say, "No, you are my friend. You try. No, I won't let you die for me. And I don't think they are a threat to us. We are protected, and we can protect ourselves." And they try to circle her. She's standing there with the messenger, and I'm about here. So if someone comes this way,
You're in the way.
Yeah, in my way.
And you said you have your scimitar out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I try and attack them.
Okay. So that if you have your scimitar out, they kind of keep their distance from you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I get closer to her.
Okay. The messenger stands very still and says, "If you kill me, you will be an enemy of the state, and you will be hunted down."
We are hunted down right now, so it doesn't make a difference.
And then he says a little bit more quietly, "I have a family. You don't need to kill me."
And let her go. And never come back.
He stands there kind of confused for a moment, and out of nowhere a tiger appears. Like literally just there was nothing there, and then there's kind of a high-pitched, a low growling sound. Very different than the growling sound you heard earlier. And you take a glance to your side, and sitting on top, or standing on one of the large tables, is a tiger. A big red and yellow tiger.
Could I guess that it's the wizard?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, I look at him and say, "This one needs to survive," and I point at the messenger. "Someone needs to tell the story."
Okay. The other guards immediately stop their circling. They all turn to face the tiger with their spears out and slowly start to back out of the tavern. Do either of you do anything?
I tell the messenger that he has to say them that they never
Chase.
chase the princess anymore at any time.
To who? You tell him to tell who?
To the other guys.
To the other guards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says, he looks at them, looks at you, and goes, I cannot disobey my lord's orders. I must follow them.
Then I have to kill you.
He says nothing. The other guards have backed out of the inn. The tiger is still standing there, and then it kind of sits down and just watches you. Now it's just the innkeeper's nowhere to be seen. The innkeeper's son is nowhere to be seen. It's just the three of you and the tiger in the room.
I look at the tiger and ask, "Can you make him forget?"
Ooh. Maybe. Hold on. Let me That's very clever.
Thank you.
Okay. Picking.
Gotta wait for the web page to load so I can look at the spells. Okay, I need to read the spell for a moment. The tiger licks its paws and then kind of twists into the red-robed wizard, who is now sitting cross-legged on the table, like this, holding his chin, and goes, I can make him remember anything you'd like him to remember. If you'd like, by tomorrow morning he can be your personal slave, thinking that you have the power to destroy him with a single word.
Maybe you could just make him remember that he has absolutely no idea that I was here or that he was here, and he just knows that he wants to get to his family and get away as fast as possible.
But then we have a new traveler with us.
But it would be cruel to take him with us and
Yeah,
let his family be without him and him without his own memories.
You are too nice of a person. I think that being
Thank
locked in a
you.
tower has made you naive beyond measure. Your friend is right. I will need some time to study. I do not have that spell prepared for today. In the meantime, he has got this. What's the duration of this? Well, yeah. I don't think he minds that. He reaches into a pocket and pulls out some. It almost looks like some green glitter, except it's not glitter. It's something else. And he lifts it in the air and tosses it over the two of you, holding it together. Mutters some strange words and wraps his hand in a circle. And the man that you have the knife of, your knife is to the throat of, just kind of, he goes completely limp and just like slouches and flops to the ground unconscious.
How long will it last?
Until I turn it off.
Great.
I will undo it tomorrow and fix his little memory problems.
Should we take him to my room? And I wink at the mage.
I think it's best left in your room. He lifts up the body, he looks at you and says, would you mind hauling him up there? I'm a very old man and I cannot lift such heavy things anymore.
I will do that.
And then he proceeds to ignore your winks and your suggestions and sits down at a table and opens a book and starts reading through it.
I try to peek over his shoulder.
It is a book that has a blue binding around it. You can't. The words are all written in some bizarre language that makes absolutely no sense to you. There are pictures of various people in different forms and different positions, with arrows pointing to things. There's all sorts of little drawings that the labels you can't understand. And as you look over his shoulder, he uses his elbow to jab you in the ribs.
If I notice that he doesn't like it, I just back off.
Yeah, I mean, he jabs you and then goes about studying. A few minutes later, after you take the body upstairs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A few minutes later, the innkeeper pokes his head up from behind a counter and says loudly, "Where did the tiger go?"
I answer. So I was the tiger, and he protected me from this.
Shut up!
From these terrible people who wanted to capture
Shut up! Maybe
you are carrying up the unconscious messenger. You are.
Okay. Why don't we take our second break here, and we'll come back in a few minutes with the next part. See you guys in a little bit.